Baltimore chapter, and welcome. My name is Rob MacDonald. I am a past president of the Baltimore chapter of the American Marketing Association, and I am currently the volunteer coordinator. So I wanted to take this chance to talk to all of you about the opportunities that we have at the American Marketing Association for volunteering. So thanks again for joining, and welcome. Get more from your time and talent. That's the name of the game here at the Baltimore chapter. We want to have everybody maximizing their abilities and getting the most out of their time. So this is your webinar. This is your opportunity. And just some protocol things. You're muted, so I can't hear you. But please, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. We will be aggregating the questions and answering them at the end of the presentation. You'll also be able to download this presentation afterwards. Let's get started. First, we'd like to thank our sponsors, WBA Research and T. Rowe Price, as well as R2I are our sponsors. We have in-kind sponsors here on this slide. These are organizations around Baltimore that provide services to us, and we're very grateful for them and their support. Here's how the webinar works. You are muted, and if you have a question, type it in, as I mentioned. So welcome. This is the secret here. Get more from your time and talent by giving what you got. By giving your time and giving your talent, that's how you get more of both. So we want to thank you, and again, welcome. And here's the agenda. I am about to introduce myself. Also on the call with me is the current president of the Baltimore chapter of the AMA. I'll introduce him as well. Tell you a little bit about the AMA, the national organization, and our local chapter here. And then get right into what you're most interested in, which is having the opportunities, finding out what opportunities we have to volunteer. So let's get started. I am Rob MacDonald, as I mentioned, past president of the American Marketing Association Baltimore chapter. I'm a B2B communications strategist and writer, and you can click on any of those links and connect with me if you like. Afterwards, you'll be able to download this presentation and get that information as well. So about the American Marketing Association, if you haven't checked it out, the website is ama.org, and the interesting thing about the American Marketing Organization is that it really is the leading organization for marketers. So when you are a part of the local chapter, you're a part of the national chapter, and you are networked with, as you can see, 30,000 members across the United States and Canada. We have national conferences every year. There's one in Chicago, and there are regional conferences every year as well. So if you're here in the Baltimore area with us, there will be a regional conference for you to attend if you're interested. Also, the AMA offers a bunch of things, publications, webinars like this one, and podcasts on the website, all designed to help you do your job better. So check out that resource library as well with case studies and templates. And for those of you who are looking for jobs, we have this job board on the AMA.org site as well. AMA Baltimore, so this is the local chapter. I think there are 74 chapters, and we are one of the oldest chapters. We're the premier marketing organization in the region, and this is our 67th year. Some of the great things that our chapter offers is the opportunity to do professional development and to have both face-to-face opportunities and also to network with groups at our monthly networking events and our learning opportunities. And we have special interest group opportunities as well for you to stay focused on the things that you're most interested in. And I know you can hear that siren. I apologize. My office is in the Bromo Salter Tower, which happens to be right on top of a fire station. And my mute button just disappeared, so please bear with me. Everything's okay. They're not coming to get me. Next slide, about the AMA Baltimore. So these are the things that you can expect. We said you get more from your time and talent. So these are some of the things you get more of. You get more education, more inspiration to go back to your work and do your job even better. more networking opportunities, more sponsorship participation, more awards and sponsorships, and more members. So they're partly our goal and partly your goal as a potential volunteer would be to help the chapter reach all of these goals, but also help yourself reach the goals of getting better at what you do. Here is the list of our board. As I mentioned, on the call with me is Barnaby Wickham. Barnaby is the current president of the AMA chapter. And Barnaby, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you could all join us today.
Great. Thanks, Barnaby. And so you can see the list of other board members. And here's something that should catch your eye. We put it in red, hoping that it would. There's an open position on the board. The position is VP of Memberships, and I will talk more about that as we get there. So quickly, I'll scan through. Here is Barnaby, and Barnaby is, as I said, the president of the AMA Baltimore. He's also director of marketing for Met Labs here in town. Our past president, Keith Michael, and I'll show you the rest of the board. The reason I'm showing you these pictures is first so that you can get familiar with their faces and their names, but also I'd like you to pay attention to the role that they play, because every year there's an opportunity for new volunteers to join the board of directors of the AMA. So you may, as you're looking at these titles, the past president, so here we have the secretary role, that's Mira. VP Finance, Bob is a CPA. VP Collegiate is an important role on the board. Dove Hoffman is the director today, this year, and VP Communications is Ellen Kovic. As I said, I'll go into greater detail about each of these positions and departments and the opportunities to volunteer for things like programming, sponsorships, and we have other opportunities as well. So volunteering, what's in it for you? Obviously, you're interested or you wouldn't be on this call. Some of the top reasons that we hear people are interested in volunteering are doing the career development, helping you network, helping you develop skills, making contacts. And another neat thing about the chapter is, since we're a rather small chapter, we have about 250 members, and as you saw on the board, I think there's 7 board members, so and multiple committees. But whatever role you play, you get to have a part in the decision making. Your voice matters, and we rely on our volunteers and the creativity that people bring as objective marketers coming into the chapter. Building your resume, it's always great to be able to have volunteerism and community outreach on your resume, and to be recognized for the great work you do. So let's dig right into the volunteer opportunities. This is why you came, and this is what we have. So the Communications Committee, Barnaby and I are going to both talk a little bit about this, and I'll start. The Communications Department is the department that is most like probably your role as a marketer in the work that you do. The Communications Department is responsible for all marketing outreach and all information sharing about the chapter. So we do the things you might expect. We use the tools that you probably are using in your job as well. Social media is a big one. We use, we have a website. Of course, here we are doing a webinar. We have blogs on the website, blog posts, and we do a lot of social media with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and a lot of outreach to the local community with press releases and other types of outreach. So the immediate openings here, you can see them listed. Barnaby, do you want to talk specifically about these 4?
I don't have much to say specifically about these. I just know that we have a very active communications committee. We already have about 5 or 6 people on it, and it's a good core group. But as Rob mentioned, there's always a lot of different communication channels, especially today. So there is a lot of opportunity on this committee to step right in and start making a difference. And these particular areas are areas that Erica has identified as needing more help. We're active in these areas, but not as active as we'd like to be. And if you have an interest in one of these areas, it'd be easy for you to step in and start making a difference right away.
Yeah, thanks, Barnaby. And not just these areas. So these are the ones that that are hottest, that are most in need right now. So if you love Facebook and LinkedIn and are passionate about building connections and using those tools, that might be something that would be a good fit for you. Press release manager is more of a behind-the-scenes type of a thing, and the jobs page manager as well. But there's other opportunities to volunteer with the communications department. For example, we always need artists. And other opportunities to just generally people ask me, Rob, how much time is this going to take? I'd love to volunteer, but I have a full-time job, I have a family, I have other interests. Chapters are all made up of volunteers, and all of us have those things going on in our lives. And so we understand that some of our volunteers are going to have busy patches in their lives, and some of them are going to perhaps have more opportunities to volunteer because they might be looking for a job or there might be other things going on. So volunteering is really a custom fit. We want it to work for you. It's possible to volunteer for 1 hour a year. It's also possible to volunteer as Barnaby does, and I did as president, up to 20 hours a week. So it can be pretty heavy lifting. It can be real light. It really can be whatever you want it to be. So in the communications department, this is the busiest department. This is ongoing needs, and so again, there are things that we need every day. And if you think you might be interested in this, afterwards I'll give you a slide that has Barnaby's contact information, and I'd encourage each of you please to just reach out to Barnaby and say, hey, tell me more, or hey, I already know what I want to be. I want to be the Facebook manager, or I want to help out with graphics, or I want to help out in some other way with communications. All right, so again, if you have any questions, send them to Barnaby afterwards, or you can key them in right now, and Barnaby will hold on to those, aggregate them, and send them to me afterwards, and we can respond. Next slide. And the next opportunity to volunteer is with the programming committee. Now this is something that is really ideal for a person who loves to network, loves to throw a party, loves to get people together, loves to make sure everybody is comfortable and everybody is in the right place and getting the education that they came for. Our programming consists generally of a couple of things. We have what we call AMA in the AM, and AMA in the PM, and both of those are networking learning opportunities. So, for example, you might go to an AMA in the AM meeting and learn about metrics for analyzing social media use, for example. And then you might go to an AMA in the PM event that is all about mobile technology. We have one of each per month, and we have some coming up that I'll share with you. But as I said, it's a party. It's a chance for marketers like you to have fun and for them to learn. And so when you're as a volunteer on the programming committee, you have an opportunity to do a variety of things. Greet people at the door, help with registration, help the speaker get situated and set up and to run the program. We also have opportunities to be, to greet, to showcase, introduce the speaker, things like that. Right now, the immediate opening that we have for volunteering, among the other things I just mentioned, is the Marketing Excellence Awards Manager. Every year, this is our gala event. Marketing Excellence Awards is a big ticket item. We have it at a nice, usually a celebration space, and at the Marketing Excellence Awards, we give away awards. We give away awards to the top marketers in the region, and we also give away awards to the top student marketers who are juniors or seniors and have excelled in their marketing work. And there are many other things that happen during the Marketing Excellence Awards. The manager would be the person who acts as the project manager to make sure everything comes through smoothly. And many of us have done many Marketing Excellence Awards, and so you'll have support if this would be your first time attending a Marketing Excellence Award, but you're interested in managing it. As I said, you'll have a lot of support, a lot of people to help you out with that. So That's programming. Next is memberships, and this is the big one that we talked about. We have an opening on our board for vice president. There are criteria to be on the board, and it is an interviewing process and an opportunity for you to figure out how this would help your career and how you can help the chapter. But for the right person, a board position is really, really important and really influential in the community. As you probably can figure out, the membership committee is all about membership. It's all about trying to get more people to join the chapter, but not just because we want a lot of people. We want quality, not quantity. We want people to get a good experience out of their membership, and so we're looking for people who are interested in the same things we are. That is, people who are interested in lifelong learning, people who are interested in giving back to the community, people who are interested in new and exciting ideas in marketing. And so one thing that the membership committee does is uses templates and forms and documents that we get from the National American Marketing Association chapter, or headquarters, and we use those pieces of information to share with our community locally about the opportunities they have to become a member. We accept single memberships, and sometimes a company will come along and have 20 people all become members, and so the vice president coordinates that. Even though we have an opening right now, this work is still being done. We're just doing the work through other departments. So if you're interested in the membership committee, and potentially jumping right on as a board member, we'd love to talk to you. Next.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
One other word on that, Rob. There's for membership, we already have a membership committee team in place. So we have 3 or 4 people who are dedicated to that committee. But for one reason or another, for work or personal reasons, none of those folks are able to step up to the executive role. So that's why we're looking for a recruit for the VP position. But I wanted everyone to be aware that there already is a team in place for membership.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Barnaby. Okay, great. Next is the Collegiate Relations Committee. This is a committee that's very important to the chapter. The chapter was actually chartered back in, 67 years ago, whenever that was, in the 1930s, I think, to be a support for local college students. And so the American Marketing Association started these chapters all around the country as a way to help college students who are focused on marketing get the information they need and the skills they need to have a successful career. Well, what our Collegiate Relations Committee does now is a couple of things. As I mentioned, we give away scholarships at the Marketing Excellence Award Gala every year. And in order to do that, we have to reach out to the college different departments, the student departments, and identify who the top students are so that we can get applications. We also support the American Marketing Association chapters at different colleges. So if you're still connected to your college locally, or if you are still interested and passionate about students and helping them learn, the Collegiate Relations Committee is a really good one because it keeps you connected to those who are just entering the field. And it's very rewarding to be able to help students get on the right path and do the things they need to be successful. Barnaby, do you have more to add about the Collegiate Relations Committee and the opportunities?
I do not.
Okay. Next is the Sponsorship Committee. These are the 3 sponsors that we have for this webinar. And Sponsorship Committee is ideal for anyone who loves sales. And I know that some people say, well, I went into marketing because I'm not into sales. And others say, well, I see sales and marketing as 2 sides to the same coin. And that's kind of how we see it here at the chapter. Everything we do in marketing and in all of our outreach is designed to help the person that we're trying to contact do their jobs better. So in order for these three sponsors, for example, WBNA Research, T. Rowe Price, and R2I, we reached out to them and said, we would like to give you the opportunity to have your brand and have your presence be a part of the AMA experience, so that whenever people come to the AMA, either online or in person, or if they read something, they get an experience that you are a company that helps support the chapter. And so sponsorship is actually very beneficial, obviously, to our chapter. We use the money, as I said, to give away scholarships and to throw parties and put on learning events and to help our membership get the most out of their experience. But it's very valuable to those sponsors as well, because now here they are, we're all looking at their brands, and there's an opportunity for them to establish themselves as a marketing resource in town. So the sponsorship committee, like sales, has a couple components. There's identifying who the prospects are, and if this is work that you do in your career, it would be a perfect match with the AMA. You know from your work then that there are certain prospects who, if we think if only they knew about us, they would be a potential sponsor. And so there's the research, which can include who are our past sponsors. Maybe we should go back to our past sponsors and find out if they'd like to be sponsors again, as well as finding new sponsors. And well, often it's emailing, it's calling, it's having live meetings, and for those of you who are in sales and marketing, it's a great chance for you to meet more of the business owners and decision makers around town. Gives you another thing to talk to them about. So you can call up and say, I'm volunteering with the American Marketing Association, and we have some opportunities that can help your company, and then talk to you about those if you're interested. The sponsorship committee is a great place for anybody with sort of that outgoing personality. Anything to add there, Barnaby?
No, you covered it well.
Okay. Let's look at Q&A. Well, for those Q&A, there are some other opportunities that we don't have slides on, and so we've talked about some of the big ones. We've talked about communications and the Facebook Manager, the LinkedIn Manager, and those things that you can do in communications. We talked about programming, helping throw the parties, the lunch and learns, the breakfast and learn, and the dinner and learn. We talked about sponsorships and reaching out to folks, and we talked about the memberships, which is the opportunity for someone to jump right onto a board position. All the other volunteering positions are non-board positions. The kind of the cycle that people take when they get into volunteering with the AMA is they often come check out an event first and find out if they like it. I assume that many of you have been to our events or found out about us in some other way and have a positive experience about the AMA. And that's what we really want. We want to have everyone who interacts with our programming or our communications or anything to get the sense that this is a valuable experience. And so it's possible to volunteer and not be a member. As I said, it's possible to volunteer 1 hour a year. What we prefer and what would give our volunteers the best experience, and we've seen this again and again, is when a volunteer does become a member of the AMA and then can benefit from all of the resources that are available and also be able to talk to new contacts, new people that you meet from the perspective of someone who's in the club, someone who is a member and a volunteer. And so the exception to what I just said is that for board members must be members of the AMA. You can't volunteer on the board without being a member. And the board membership does have a little bit more time commitment than other types, or it has significantly more time commitment than the other opportunities to volunteer. the board of directors meets once a month, and sometimes the meetings are in person, sometimes the meetings are a conference call, but their board meetings generally go about 90 minutes, and after the board meeting and before the board meeting, there's often work to do to run the committee. So each board member is the chair of his or her committee. So for example, just to go back to memberships, we have, as Barnaby mentioned, we have a committee with 3 people on it, but we don't have a VP, a board member who is managing them specifically. Instead, we have another one of our board members who's kind of doing double duty right now, managing that department and his own department. So that's kind of the lay of the land. Barnaby, are there any questions that are coming in that you would like to address?
Yeah, there is a question that came in. Also, if you want to advance the slide, there's some upcoming events that people might be interested in. It's a good way to start engaging with members.
Okay, here they are. Barnaby, would you take us through these?
Sure. So this month, like Rob said, every month we have a breakfast event, AMA in the AM, and then we also have an evening event, AMA in the PM. So this month we're featuring T-Row Price. There's a marketing VP there, Chris Seaberger, who's a great presentation. The expert, Gino Prusakov, who's actually based out of DC, just for this event, and that's actually this coming week. It's a breakfast event, which is at advertising.com downtown, so it's a pretty cool venue. And you can see we have November's events posted as well. There are 2 special interest groups that are kicking off right now. So the best person to contact until we have those open for registration, the best person to contact is Colleen McKenna, who's our programming VP. And then you can see our 30th Annual Marketing Excellence Awards will be in January this year. We have a fantastic keynote speaker. He has a new book. We're really excited about that. And we're also, this week, we're opening up the entries for those awards. So you or anyone who's in marketing can enter to be recognized at that event. It's our biggest event, and we'll certainly have over 100 people there. And then the minor piece, but it's new this year, is the last bullet. That's a marketing book club. It's it's something we're trying out to see the level of interest, and our secretary on our board, Mira Davis Kelly, is actually running that group. So if you're interested in that, please contact her.
Okay, great. Thanks, Barnaby. And as I said, the AMA breakfast events, AM breakfast events, and the PM evening events, those happen every month. And so if what we encourage folks to do who are volunteering and interested in volunteering is to find some that you can attend. Even if you're not sure how you want to volunteer yet, because that'll give you a chance to meet us in person. It'll give you a chance to network with others and to kind of get a feel for the AMA. So you can click on these links. You can also go to amabaltimore.org for the information. And as I said, you'll be able to download this PowerPoint afterwards, and you'll be able to click to your heart's content.
Yeah. Let me address, Rob, the question that came in.
Yes.
The question is, for board-level opportunities, are there requirements that are on paper somewhere? For example, do you have to be at a certain level in your current position? The simple answer to that is no. There's no hard hard and set requirements for where you are in your professional life or in your career. We definitely do an interview, and we want all board members to be in agreement that a new board member be qualified and passionate and all that. But there is no professional minimum requirement for board level participation.
Okay, great. Are any other questions coming in? Harvey?
Nope, that's it for now. Okay.
So I assume that you do have questions, and it's okay. You don't need to send them in on the webinar. What we would encourage you to do is contact Barnaby for more information about volunteering. I know we've kind of covered a lot pretty quickly, and there are many things that we didn't talk about that are still opportunities for volunteers. And so when you send an email to Barnaby, you can see the address there. It's bwickham@amabaltimore.org. You can also go to amabaltimore.org, and Barnaby's contact info, along with all the rest of our contact info, is there.